Hi, how are you? I thought that I talk about isolation, why somebody wants to isolate, and how they do it. I have been talking about this a lot in my community to young ladies that start dating and start new relationships and don't have the experience to match to notice these warning signs. We all know that in a normal scenario, two people meet each other and then they spend a lot of time together, but they also spend a lot of time with this side of friends, and then they spend a lot of time with that side of friends, and every once in a while they go both they separate ways with their own friends, and then maybe everybody comes together and meets and has a bunch of new friends. And that's how it's supposed to be. But it always doesn't go that way. Not if you meet Frank. Frank is a different kind of person. Frank wants to isolate you. He wants you all for himself. And why does he do that? Well, he wants your friends, for example, out of the picture from the start. He doesn't like your friends, and he doesn't like to spend time with them. He thinks that they are stupid and childish, and above all, they don't like Frank. It doesn't matter what the truth is, but Frank thinks that they don't like him. So he is offended from the start. And Frank wants that you don't spend time with them either, because Frank wants to not just be with you, but he wants to own you. Frank knows that something is going to go wrong sooner or later, and at that point, Frank doesn't want you to have any options. Frank wants you to be all his. So when you meet your friends, there is always the possibility that they ask you, because they love you, that how are you and how are things with Frank? Or are you sure that Frank is the right one? Are you sure that you're happy with Frank? How does that feel? And maybe say that, well, that's a little bit problematic if Frank doesn't want you to see your family or your friends again. That's not okay. And then among your friends might be the Frank's worst nightmare. So somebody that actually loves you so much that they want to be in Frank's position. So they want to be the one for you instead of Frank. And all these things are a major problem to Frank. And he does everything he can, first in subtle way, and then in not so subtle way, to get you from your friends. Because your friends give him, or they give you, a perspective. They give you choices. They give you support. They are your safety net if something happens. And Frank doesn't want that. He doesn't want anything for you except himself, and he wants you to be 100% dependent on him. And that's why these Franks usually want to, if you start to live together, decide where you live. They want to control your money. They want to control your friends, of course. You have no friends. It would be better if you just hang around with Frank's friends, because they do not ask this kind of annoying questions. Because they are loyal to Frank. Even if they know that there is something wrong with Frank, they support him. They are his enablers. They act like everything is normal when it isn't. And your friends don't do that. They do not like clean up after Frank. And that's why Frank wants to get rid of them. But he knows that he has to be a little bit more subtle than just say no from the start. And so he may fix it that way that it seems that you are no longer interested in your friends. And if he has a chance, he will tell them that you don't fancy them anymore, that they are childish or something generic like that. So nothing concrete. So Frank is never caught. But that's the main reason for Frank. Frank wants control, and he wants to own you. But of course, Frank doesn't say that in a first date. But how does he actually do it? It starts very gradually, and Frank has all the best intentions at heart when he does that. He does it because he loves you so much. And that's true in Frank's world, but not yours. Well, the first time when you want to go out with your friends, Frank says that, okay, you go, no problem. But when you see Frank the next time, he's like, no, did you have fun? Well, nice that you have fun. I was home alone all night. No, I was just a little bit bored, but... and you feel a little bit bad, because you had fun, and Frank obviously didn't. So you feel bad, and Frank has the point. Time goes on, and this method goes on, and then the next phase is that when you say that I want to go out with my friends, Frank says, oh, please don't go, please don't go, please stay with me, we have so much fun, and I love you so much, I don't want to be apart from you. So tactics change. And now you have to think that, oh God, Frank is going to be hurt if I leave. He's going to have a miserable time, and I want to have fun with my friends, and I will have fun with my friends, and I feel bad because I have fun, but Frank doesn't. You stay every other time, but once in a while you leave to have fun with your friends and meet them. Then time again goes by, and you are going out with your friends again. This time Frank says already that I don't want you to go out with them. You are always so tired when you get home. You cannot have anything, you cannot get anything done the whole weekend because you are so tired. That's not good for you. Well, of course you are tired if you are dancing all night, and that's okay. But Frank doesn't think so. And your friends drink too much, and you drink when you are with them, and that's not good for you. Well, you cannot argue, but it's your choice. If you don't have children or other responsibilities, or they are taken care of, who cares? Or you care, and it's your business. But Frank is concerned, and you cannot deny that he's not right, in his own way. And again, you think even harder every time that you leave out that, should I go? And Frank is right, maybe I'm going out too much. And then comes your birthday, and your friends have booked a table in a fancy place, and you are going to, oh, I'm going out with my friends to celebrate my birthday. And of course you want Frank to come with you, but Frank never does. So that's not a good plan. Or it doesn't work. You can plan anything, but it doesn't work. What does Frank do? Oh, Frank says, oh, you're leaving. I didn't know, even if you told him weeks ago. I had something special planned for us, but it's going to be on West now. And you said that, oh, what did you have planned? Well, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. It was just tickets to this wonderful place. And then you ask that, could we postpone it? Could we have that in the next weekend so we can celebrate my birthday in 2 weekends? And that's fine, let's go then. And Frank says again, no, it's not the same. It's not your birthday. And again, you think that, oh, now Frank is going to feel bad. And I want to have fun, and I want to go out with my friends because it's my birthday. And you think and think and think and think. If you go with your friends, you feel miserable because Frank is miserable and he's surprised. And if you stay, Frank is going to go to toilet with his cell phone and book any tickets that he possibly can, because he didn't remember that it was your birthday, and he wouldn't care less unless there were your friends on the balance on the other side. So again, now he ruined your birthday instead of doing what every other guy would do. That, yay, let's go to celebrate your birthday. I'm coming along and I'm bringing a bottle of champagne and a bunch of roses. But not Frank. That doesn't suit Frank. Well, what's the next phase? You are going out with your friends, let's say in autumn before Christmas. And Frank says that, no, I don't want you to go with them. And you're a little bit surprised that what? That, of course, they are my friends. I'm going out with them and that's not a big deal. Frank changes tactics. He says that if you go out with your friends, I won't be at your parents' in a Christmas dinner. And you're like, what? What does this weekend and Christmas have anything to do with one another? Plus, we have agreed already that we eat the Christmas dinner every other year with your parents and every other year in mine, and now it's the other year. But Frank doesn't care. If you do not care enough about me, then I will not be at your parents' Christmas dinner, and they will find out what kind of girl you are running around all the time, so that I have to be annoyed. So he threatens to humiliate you in front of your family and relatives. And now you are in a tougher position. It's not anymore like Frank is going to feel bad, but it's the consequences of you going out to you and your family and your relatives. And you don't want to lose your face because they all think that Frank is a very nice guy. So first, Frank was just moping. Then he was loving you so much that he cannot be apart from you. Then he was the big planner that had this once-in-a-lifetime thing planned. And you feel bad, you feel bad, you feel bad. And now it's blackmail. It's not very sweet, but you feel bad. Up to this point, you have been like telling yourself, and to old ladies like me, they say that this is not okay. But I don't want to hurt Frank. I don't want him to feel sad. I can do this one time. It's not a habit. It's just this one time. He cannot help himself from feeling bad. But when it comes to blackmailing with the Christmas dinners, then it's not okay anymore for you either. And you don't go because you don't want to be humiliated. And you think that this is going to somehow go away. And this is going to be just like one time. And maybe Frank was tired, or maybe he was just in bad mood, or something happened at work or something like that. But no. This is standard Frank. This is not going to change. If he is this far, he is going to go further. Because the next phase is just no. And when you say that my friends asked me to go to dinner, he just says no. And from the tone of the voice and the temperature of the room, you know that you don't want to question that. Frank may say, you may not leave this house. And if you are not prepared for violence, you don't try. And Frank has succeeded. It's very seldom that you go out with your friends. You don't see your family anymore that much. You have tried half of the time to make some kind of excuses why Frank doesn't come along, and why you don't go out with your friends and meet your family as often as you used to. And primarily you say that, but I want to be home with Frank. But now it's obvious that it's not like choice of your heart anymore. It's Frank's choice. And at this point, you live together. That's obvious. And it's very, very hard to get out. And at this point, I of course tell you that I'm not a therapist. I'm a mother, wife, and a lawyer entrepreneur. And everything that I tell you is based on my personal experience and the things that I see and have seen around me for the past 50 years. There are Franks everywhere, and I have spotted a few Franks, and luckily the ladies got out in time. But what can we do? We can only tell them that we support those ladies. Or of course it's possible that women do the same thing too, but it's a little bit different. We can say that if you need to, you can come stay with us for a while and get your things sorted. That we don't care if you thought that you loved Frank and you don't, and it's not good for you. We don't care. And it's not your shame. You don't have to be ashamed that Frank wants to keep you inside the house. Frank is the one that doesn't operate like a normal person. He wants to isolate you from your friends and your family and your relatives, and that's not okay. So there is nothing to be ashamed of. Just start to contact people again and get out. No one has a right, not in this world, not in this time, to tell. Of course, I speak about the ladies. You don't have a right to tell us that we don't go anywhere, that we don't have your permission. We don't need your permission. And in a healthy relationship, we negotiate, and there is no permission for anything for anyone. But we do what we want to do, and we discuss about them. But that was, in a nutshell, isolation. Why people want to isolate each other and how they do it very gradually so that you don't know until it's too late. I hope you have a great day and I see you soon. Goodbye.